Chris, 3-3 draw today.
Yep.
Burton Albion, just give me your thoughts on that one.
2 points dropped again. I think, we really did kind of throw that one away for me. Got ourselves into a great position, 3-1 up, 20 minutes to go. Doing some really good stuff as well for large parts. The goals we've scoring from set pieces, which we're working on, which is great. Molly's free kick was an absolute screamer. Lots of good aspects in there. Obviously, you can be a bit too negative when you're disappointed with the result. We've got to remember there was a lot of good in there. Unfortunately, the issues that we have had and sort of letting teams back in, it all comes from us kind of deviating from the game plan. Game management, we've spoke about that before as well. I think it's reared its ugly head again today. I think it says a lot that we've come off really disappointed and they've come off really chuffed and happy. I think we were the sort of the main instigators of anything. We've hit the post towards the end. Question for their first goal being offside, but realistically and really for me, I felt like that was a win, well within our grasps. So we're disappointed to not come away with that. And that's been a long drive home, thinking about that. But again, as we said, in the change room, all we can do is think onwards now to the cup quarter final, break from the league, and we've just got to see what we can do in the week to pull everybody back together. And all we can do is just keep going. So, but yeah, frustrating day overall.
You spoke about managing games, but is it just that having that control in those moments? Because obviously you went 3-1 up and then very quickly got the next goal, and then after that a minute later they got the equaliser. So is it just about maybe how do you sort of control those moments? Is it just try and take the sting out of the game, or is it?
Well, the 2 goals happened so quickly. There wasn't really much. After we scored the third, it was almost like it was 3-1 then 3-3. And it was too quick to kind of even try to control certain scenarios and try and take this thing out of the game. It was, I don't know if we've panicked, if we've got excited, we've got drawn into the shenanigans that was going on. There was a lot of verbals, a lot of weird shouts coming from all over the place, and whether we just got dragged into that and sort of lost focus on what we were doing. But the goals came from lapses of concentration. We can say that the players were taking too many touches, but there's other things that come around from that. It's have players called for the ball? Can we move the ball quicker as a result? Are players in a position to receive it? So there's a lot more than just we could say too many touches have been taken or whatever. There's a lot more that kind of comes to that. But like I said, the goals were so quick. We didn't even really have time to kind of react and kind of change shape if we needed to, or slow the game down. It was just frantic. It just felt really out of control for 2 minutes, and then we got back in control. And I felt that we were the only ones really pushing towards the end for the last 15 minutes. I think we still had 15 minutes when they equalised, and it was pretty much one-way traffic. So we've hit the post, like I said already, and we've had a couple of near misses. Keeper's made a couple of decent saves. Maybe it could have gone again and nicked it, but yeah. Just a strange one. I'm going to have to watch it back and have a bit of a think. But yeah, for whatever reason, we just had a mad couple of minutes, and we had a mad 5 minute spell in the first half as well, and that all meant that those were the bits where they got their goals from. Things to continue to work on and think on, but that's where the frustration comes from today. And I know that the players are feeling it as well. They'll be quite down and they will be frustrated. I could see that in the dressing room. So what we do after that will determine how the rest of the season looks, and that's all we can, like I said before, that's all you can do. You can only think about Tuesday, then Thursday, and then we've got a big game, break from the league. Nothing on it in terms of jeopardy. Let's just go for it and we'll see what we can do. And we've shown before we can, on our day, we can pull off a surprise. Looking at the draw in that cup, it's going to be surprise after surprise after surprise, but maybe that's what we can do, take the shackles off and play with a bit of freedom. We've got to enjoy that occasion, so that's what we'll be looking to do.